In this video, we're going to go through subacromial impingement exercises. We're going to start from early phase, we're going to go through to late phase. There's a little bit of mix and matching that can be done. We're going to talk about all of that in the video so you can get stronger shoulders and be pain and injury free.
Okay, so our first phase is our early phase rehabilitation exercises. So we're going to first start with our isometric exercises. You can see here in the video I'm doing isometric extension. I'm now doing isometric flexion, so pushing into the bar, or you could do this against the wall. 5-second contractions. Now external rotation, so isometric external rotation. I'm pushing outwards into the bar for 5 seconds. Again, you could do this against the wall. And now I'm going to do internal rotation. So isometrics in all planes of motion. I'm now pushing inwards. Make sure that you're rotating from the shoulder and not pulling in using compensations. Next up, we've got a simple banded row. This is a great exercise just to engage some of the shoulder blade muscles, and usually with shoulder pain it doesn't really hurt that much because you're not doing it in a position of pushing, which is generally more the position that hurts, or overhead, which normally hurts. You could also do this with a dumbbell as well, and this is great for a little bit of core activation. So just making sure you're squeezing the elbow back and squeezing that shoulder blade back and down and really controlling the eccentric part of the lift. Then we're going to move on to an oldie but a goodie. It's just the external rotations using the band. So this just activates your rotator cuff muscles. Every physio should know this exercise. You can do this also using a dumbbell. I like the dumbbell because again you can really control that negative, and a lot of the gains you get with that eccentric portion is really getting that tendon and the muscle under tension, which is going to help strength and help tendon strength as well. Another exercise I absolutely love is the pull down, banded pull down. What I love about this is you're getting an eccentric portion of coming up into flexion, so you're controlling the movement up into flexion, and often people with limited flexion will actually gain more flexion than they normally would have doing this one because you're controlling against resistance. So I really love this. You can step in closer so that you can go higher with a hand, and it's a really great exercise for shoulder rehab. Next we're going to move on to our middle phase of rehabilitation. So the first exercise for this is going to be a banded abduction. You could do this as well with a dumbbell, but I'm just using a resistance band here, going up to the parallel or slightly above the parallel. Often around the parallel is where people get their pain, so really great exercise this one. Then we're going to move on to our Blackburn exercises. So this is an A position, really squeezing between the shoulder blades, trying to lift the hands up without getting too much head lifting. And then we can go into a T. So this position again is just more of a T shape with the arms parallel to the body. Really love these Blackburn exercises for scapular stabilization and strength. Then we're going to go into a Y. So this is a more challenging position out of our Blackburn exercises. I find the Y a really good exercise for engaging the lower traps and for strength generally. And then I love the W's as well. This again position is at 90 degrees. Often people with shoulder injuries will struggle with this particular movement, and the most advanced version of this is a Y into a W and then back into a Y and then down again. I love this to warm up shoulders as well before heavy workouts for the upper body, and it just engages the shoulders. You can really feel like you're pulling the hands and elbows high as you do this, and that's going to really engage everything in that area. So in early phase we've got our neutral external rotations. Now we're going to take up another notch and do our external rotations at 90 degrees. Really good for throwers, really good for people that struggle with pain overhead, and lots of people do struggle overhead, so this is a fantastic rehab exercise and thoroughly recommend doing this one. The other one that's very similar to this is a face pull, so it's a kind of a double arm movement. You're going to take the hands out by the head, keep the elbows flaring out to the side, so you're getting that external rotation of the hands, squeezing between the shoulder blades, and this really is going to engage your muscles around your posterior rotator cuff and your rhomboids as you do this exercise. Again, a really fantastic rotator cuff exercise, this one. Wall slides is just an exercise that no one likes, and particularly people with thoracic mobility problems, they're going to really struggle with this. So I really love this one. It really teaches patients or shows patients just how poor their mobility in their upper back is, and it's not easy. You know, no one will find this easy, but if you can improve this, a lot of patients will have a lot better mobility. Patients do really struggle, then this is the sort of thing that you can do on the ground. It makes it a lot easier because gravity helps you with the movement rather than hinders you. Now we're going to move on to our late phase of our rehabilitation. So the first exercise is a walkout or an inchworm. So this just engages the shoulders. It gets it working a little bit more functional, a little bit of weight bearing through the shoulders. You can see as you push yourself back up into a standing position that you'll get that flexion of the shoulders as well, and weight bearing through, and just general shoulder endurance and strength, which I really like as well. There's a modification of this one that you can do as well. It's more of a lateral plane movement. So again, these press up position with slightly bent knees and then just walking across. You're trying to coordinate basically your hands and your feet. I obviously get a bit mixed up with a few of these, but that's why I love it. You just get trying to create that coordination, stability and weight bearing through the shoulders, a little bit of proprioception as well. It's just a great exercise. This next one is a fantastic one. It's kind of similar to a Y balance. So you're just pushing that arm through, and a great one to work both the stability in your arm that you're having to hold your body weight with, and also agility and mobility of the opposite shoulder. The next exercise is a pike abdominal crunch. So we're basically bringing the hands towards the opposite feet. So it's going to engage the shoulder, get your shoulder going through flexion. And then finally we have a ball toss. So into that external rotation, you throw the ball against the wall, just creates proprioception, a bit of plyometrics. So you're trying to control the ball. Harder you throw it, the more you have to control, and really getting you into that eccentric portion of that movement.
If you enjoyed that, then watch one of these two videos. I know you're going to like them, and I will see you next time.